Do you understand what this takes? What a person has to be, what level a person has to be at? That he balances huquq Allah and huquq al-ibad to such a level that he can never imagine compromising the right of another servant. Forget about being in the last quarter of a basketball game and everything really tense and then we start violating each other's rights. This is a battle right here. And yet Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is saying to this companion that you want revenge, take the staff and poke me back. The Sahabi takes the staff, he drops it to the ground and he hugs Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, this is the last memory I wanted as long as I live. Now after this I no longer need to live. The next time they found the Sahabi was his dead body coming out of the battlefield. He became shaheed after that. So the Sahaba radwanullahi ta'ala, they knew that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would never reject their demands. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the last sermon he gave in his life, you know when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave the last sermon? Who knows? When was the last sermon of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? Many people think it's the sermon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave in Hajj. Many of the masajid will have a big board on them saying that the last sermon of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and then it'll say the sermon of Hajj. That's not accurate. That is not the last sermon of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The last sermon given by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is when he returned back to Medina Munawwara after Hajj. The last month of the Islamic calendar is, anyone know? The Hijjah. The Hajj, the Hijjah is the last month of the Islamic calendar. And after the Hijjah comes Muharram. Okay, Muharram is the first month of the Islamic calendar. And after Muharram, Rabiul Awwal. In which month did Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam pass away in? Rabiul Awwal. Okay, so he returned back from Hajj. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam returned back from Hajj, in the month of Muharram, and some say it was at the end of Muharram, some say no, it was actually in Rabiul Awwal. Majority of the scholars are of the opinion that this last sermon took place in Rabiul Awwal. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he climbed the minbar, extremely ill. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the first thing he said to the companions, that the servant has been given the choice between this world and the hereafter, and the servant has chosen the hereafter. The Sahaba realized that they had very little time left with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in the last sermon, what did he say to the Sahaba? The last thing he said to the Sahaba was that, in that last sermon, that if there's anyone here who I owe anything to, come up to me right now so I can pay it back. He is focused on the rights of the servants. So now we study the character of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The character of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was such that the Sahaba knew that if they ever needed anything in their life, they would have to come to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and there was never a day that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would ever say no to an individual. The character of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was such that the Sahabi says that the day I accepted Islam until the day Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam left us, there was never a time that I met Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is the hadith of Sahih Bukhari, by the way. I never met Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and he was not smiling. In one hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, إِنَّ مِنَ الْمَعْرُوفِ أَن تَلْقَى أَخَاكَ بِوَجْهٍ طَلْقٍ. That indeed it is from a good deed that you meet your brother with a shining face. When we meet one another, if it's a friend of ours, they may get a handshake, they may get a hug. If it's a very good friend of ours, we may say hi, hello, how's everything going, good game. But if it's someone we don't know, you and I don't even give a few seconds for that person. You know, sitting here, who can say that I've actually shaken the hand or said salam and greeted every single person sitting in the bleachers right here? And how many of us are there? 50, 60 of us? We've probably walked past each other all day, Allah knows how many times. But the character of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was such, whether he knew them or not, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was a person that he would go to the person and he would initiate salam. Afshu salam, wa at'imu ta'am, wa siru al-arham, wa sallu bil-layli wa nasu niyam, tadkhulu al-jannat bi-salam. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's teachings, spread salam amongst one another. Feed the poor, join relationships, stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while the rest of the creation is sleeping, and you will enter into paradise. The character of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was such that people, when they would see the character of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, they would fall to their knees and accept Islam. You know, people commonly say that Islam spread across the world by the power of the sword. We hear this statement very clearly. And very commonly, people are always saying this. One question. Khalid bin Walid accepted Islam, right? Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu accepted Islam, right? Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiallahu anhu accepted Islam. Abdul Rahman bin Auf radiallahu anhu accepted Islam. Amr ibn al-As radiallahu anhu accepted Islam. These men, whose names I've taken right now, were the individuals who conquered Rome, Persia, and Egypt. These men were generals that the Romans, when they saw these men, they said that there is no way in the world we can ever drop these people to the ground. Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu, he died, he craved to die in the battlefield. This is how courageous this man was. Umar ibn Khattab was that man that the Sahaba, when they describe him, they say that his forearm was the size of a normal man's thigh. Touch your thigh for a second. Imagine that being your forearm right there. This was this man right here. Can you ever imagine or fathom that this man can be forced into Islam? Is there anyone in the world that can come to Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu and tell him, okay, give me 50 beard and then you're going to accept Islam? If you don't accept Islam, you have to give me 20 squats. That wasn't going to work on Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu. That guy didn't care. Do you understand? What was it that brought these men to Islam? What was it that brought these men to Islam? It was nothing other than the character of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. How Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam cared for them so much. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came for Umratul Qada, right? When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came for Umratul Qada to Makkah Mukarramah, he came from Medina Munawwarah to Makkah Mukarramah. When he came to Makkah Mukarramah, he realized Khalid bin Walid was not there. Khalid bin Walid wasn't there. So he asked Khalid bin Walid's brother, Walid ibn al-Walid, now where is your brother Khalid from? So he said to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that my brother hates you so much that he could not bear the fact that you and him be in the same city and he can't kill you. So he's waiting outside Makkah Mukarramah. As soon as you leave, he's going to enter back into Makkah Mukarramah. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam then said to his brother, that tell Khalid bin Walid that an intellectual man like him shouldn't fool around with kufr any longer, he needs to come accept Islam then. Khalid bin Walid, when he returns back to Makkah Mukarramah after Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam leaves, he hears that his brother passed on this message, that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is asking about you, and he left this message. Khalid bin Walid was shocked, that this man that I hate so much, why does he care for me? This man that I hate so much, why does he care for me? What's the reason for this? This was the character of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was that individual, that his love was not only for his beloveds, but also for his enemy. At the end of the story of Taif, everyone knows the story of Taif. There's no need for me to repeat it here again. At the end of that story, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he leaves that valley, he's covered and soaked in his own blood. A single drop of blood from the body of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has more value than us living a million lives. That's how much value it is of one drop of the blood of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He soaked in his blood because of the enemy just pelted him with stones. Yet Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he raises his hands, what dua does he make? اللهم اشكو اليك ضعف قوتي وقله حيلتي وحوالي على الناس يا ارحم الراحمين انت رب المستضعفين. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, oh Allah, I have a complaint. My complaint isn't to destroy these people, oh Allah. My complaint is that اللهم اشكو اليك ضعف قوتي, oh Allah, I was weak. وقله حيلتي, oh Allah, I didn't take the right pathway to approach these people. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, إن لم تكن بك علي غضبان فلا أبالي. Oh Allah, as long as you're not angry with me, I will continue this message and I won't stop. Do you understand how much care this individual had for his own enemies? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam cared for the widow. Rasulullah says, من عزى ثقلا كسي بردا في الجنة. This is the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So whosoever takes a sheet and puts it over a widow, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in return in the hereafter, inshallah al-aziz, will give this person a beautiful robe and gown in the hereafter, inshallah al-aziz. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give this person a beautiful shawl and a scarf in the hereafter, inshallah, a cloak in the hereafter. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when it came to the orphans, you and I sitting here, when was the last time we actually went to an orphanage? When was the last time we went online and considered donating $5 to an orphan? Do you know there are orphans across the road who wake up every morning thinking that I have a Muslim brother that lives in America who's a doctor or is becoming a doctor and spends $1 every day on a Slurpee in summer, that one day that Muslim brother may have the heart to give me $5? Do you know on the day of Eid there are Muslims, orphan Muslims that wake up across the road thinking that today I'm suffering on the day of Eid, I don't have food to put down my mouth? And there are Muslim brothers of mine living in America who are wasting their money buying gowns, $100 each. They are wasting, blowing their money on dinners, $100 each. And here we are, orphans sitting here starving to death. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had a perfect example. It was the day of Eid. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was heading towards the Eid Salah. And on the way towards the Eid Salah, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam saw this young child. And he was sitting on the road and he was crying. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam asked him, why are you crying? He said to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that everyone's going for Eid, all the children are holding the hands of their fathers and they're walking towards the Musalla, right? The place of the Eid Salah, where the Salah will be established. Oh, I don't have a father. There's no one's hand who I can hold and walk to the Eid Salah with. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he holds the hand of this child. He says that from today onwards, you will never see that again. From today onwards, Muhammad is your father and Aisha is your mother. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he carried that child not with his hand, he carried that child on his shoulders. And he arrived in the Eid Salah area, and after Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam took the pulpit, he took that child, he sat him on his lap.